took a minute and dressed up what I had there, because I didn't like it all that well, so, you know, little body safe liquid glitter goes a long way. Good evening. I have decided to do some of the absolute most boring face painting videos on YouTube. This thing is pretty cool. This is just a medicine container. This is Wednesday, actually, Wednesday. I'm going to try to do better to keep my shots in the frame. Anyway, I made this when I realized that I was bringing 4, actually probably more like 5 or 6 whites with me to every gig, because they all do a little bit different. I know if you're brand new, that's kind of a scary thought, but it's true. And so, and you can tell I tend to go through Wolf probably the most, and Tag maybe the second most, and Fusion Pearl Fairy White and Fusion Prime actually have a different thing that I do with them. So I'm actually not going to replace these two today, but I am going to replace these two and show you how I do that. If you've been face painting for a long time, you probably would not care, because this is a pretty basic video. Anyway, so if you were to make this, it's pretty obvious. You want to put your Sharpie or your pre-printed tags on first, because most white face paint looks all the same. So this is pretty easy to do. I have a Halloween gig coming up, and I cannot go to it with nothing in my whites. I was just thinking, I know that I have a little bit of white that's in a more flat container since I started doing this, but I don't even really know where that lives. I'm sure I do have it, but I don't think I typically, I don't really go for it, because I have this. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I put the right thing in. Wolf White, Wolf. This is one of the little bit stiffer face paints to work with, but I love it. This is probably my favorite white, if I can get it, but I can usually get it. So, unlike the last video where I was saying I buy ahead of time because I don't want to get, I don't know, I guess I'm spoiled. I don't want to get into the middle of summer and not have my faves. If that makes me spoiled, then I guess I'm a little spoiled. I thought this was kind of interesting because it's a little tiny bit dangerous. So when you go to upload a YouTube video, they ask you if it's made for children. I'm like, well, I keep using knives and blades and stuff, so let's just go with a no. Okay, I usually fill it not completely full, because then I like to put what's left over as the top of my paint. I didn't really look at this over, but it actually looks pretty good. So if it were really gnarly, I would probably clean it up first. That's not bad. So I find it ironic that I work in a, you know what, I'm just going to steal that a little bit. Okay. I work in a business that is so incredibly color-filled, vibrant, and my very first face painting videos are all white. I don't know. Maybe that's just me as I kick the ring light. Okay. All right. So that's not particularly pretty, but it's okay. It'll probably start to look super normal after about the first use. So, all right. Moving on. If you were able to stay with me through that first video, this is the tag white that I tried to make the infamous Ghost Rose with. Okay. While this is in the pan, I'm going to clean it up just a skosh. So, I know. See this? Okay, to me, this is a huge trick, or tip. Whatever. A lot of people, I don't know. Maybe, again, maybe it works for other people. It does not work for me. Recommend that you use baby wipes to clean up. And I know that that works for some people who use more expensive baby wipes than I do. But I made the mistake of following that advice when I first started. And got like a million little ugly hairs all over all of my otherwise blemished paint. All right, so I kind of cleaned up that white. Now I'm going to pull it out. The reason for that is once you break it out of the pot, you may end up chasing all the little pieces around to clean it up. So, but while it's in here, it's a pretty solid chunk. It may come out solid too. There we go. Ooh, look at that. Oh, isn't that funny? That's actually not a bad thing. I'm going to quick wipe it out. Okay. That's probably not going to take a ton. Oops. I decided to put some orange from yesterday on there. No, thank you. These can get sort of, I do use these whites to do double dip flowers too, so they can get kind of messed up. I usually clean them in between. There we go. I'm trying to stay more in the frame than yesterday. It was like half of the video was like way back. Good luck. Wait, no, here you see it. Now you don't. Just kidding. I may only make videos about things that bug me, but you know, it's okay. And then it doesn't matter if I squish this sort of back together or whatever. Shape it. Ooh, that might not fit. Actually, not probably gonna fit. Okay, so that happens. I got over exuberant with how much I need to put in here. Boy, did I. All right, so if that happens, I just cut smaller pieces. It's like when you were a little kid and you like put the whole entire banana in your mouth and your mom was like, why did you put the whole banana in your mouth? I don't know. Spit it out. Okay. All right, here we go. I don't know why little kids do that. It's so silly. Okay. Wow. Boy, I really did over-exaggerate how much I needed. Okay. fine. Okay. Oh, that's a lot of leftover. All right, I'm gonna cheat and stick it back in the pot. Normally I wouldn't do that, but that's, oh my goodness, that's a huge chunk of white. All right, so these other two, these other two, I know that they're kind of worn down. Actually, I will clean up that one. The Fusion Prime, obviously I use that for some kind of pink double dipped something or other. I actually like, I mean, that's like, this is perfect. I'd like to stop saying like so much. All right. Good luck with that. Okay. So, yesterday, we chased after the elusive Ghost Rose to no avail and ended up with I actually am loving, I don't know if I'm happy that we didn't get a Ghost Rose, but I do kind of like that. I'm planning on doing a bunch of designs with that new neon orange, and I remember I was talking about, this still looks a little pink, but you know what, we're gonna see what happens. Anyway, I'm gonna make a bunch of cool stuff with those ribbons of color, which were, I think it was Summer Days. I don't know. I will tag it. I'll put a little text box when I figure out what the other one is. Might be Berry Pretty. Both Leanne Courtney's, of course. Fusion. I'm actually getting, it's still a little pink, but I think it'll be okay. I wanted to show you that trick I was telling you about. So I've got the Pearl Fairy White, which is a little lighter than the Fusion Prime. It's a pretty dark, a lot of pigment in the Fusion Prime White. And the Fusion Pearl Fairy is a little more translucent, I guess is the way I want to say it. So you can, I'd be bummed if this doesn't work. This worked. I actually did test this out today, by the way, because I didn't test the recipe out yesterday and that didn't work so well. I actually tested it out today. I don't know. Again, it's going to make a liar out of me. I tell you it worked this afternoon. Oh, I'm not showing it. All right. This is my comedy skit. It's like my white whale. She's trying to find the Ghost Rose. Oh, look. She still hasn't... That's not too bad. That's funny. She still hasn't found the Ghost Rose. Wait, 36 episodes later, and she still is looking for the Ghost Rose. Okay. I'm having to go really light on this Pearl Fairy, though. Which, you know, it's a good thing, because then the very thing people would probably get really upset about, like, we bought your paint, but we can't see it. Yeah, so pretty much, wait, okay, there we go. Pretty much, I get a little of the Fusion Pearl Fairy, and then I basically scrape it all off. Alright, so little better. This could be my white whale, I know it. It's a little better. It's quasi doable. So the pot of paint trick, oh, excuse me, I knocked that really good. The pot of paint trick I got off of Ariel Minervini's. I hope I said that right. Ariel Paints does wonderful, 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 wonderful videos for people who are new to face painting. So she teaches how to do the ghost rose way better than this. So if you're serious about your ghost rose, go check that out at Ariel Paints YouTube channel. Also, if you are new, I if it weren't for her, I would not have a business to be. Is that not a crazy thing to admit on camera? When I first started face painting, it's really hard. And so there would be days, not a lot of days, but there would be, a few days where I kind of just had to just watch Ariel all day long. And the way she talks to people who are new, it's amazing. And she tells you not to give up, and she's totally right. That's not bad. It's at least seeable. But yeah, you can do that just by having those two together. Definitely go watch Ariel's, because hers is better than mine. Hers are fabulous. But then again, I'm still learning. So, yeah, and her butterfly videos, I probably watched 3 times straight. The long one, the one that she says for people who are having trouble with butterflies, and just kind of sat there for 5 or 6 hours in one day and watched and painted along, washed off all my stuff, start over, do it again. And so just don't get discouraged, right? Because if you want it, you can have it, but you really have to want it. All right, have a good night.